Welcome to Monday Tweed Talks, you guys. We were on mute.
What? Okay, so let's start again. Welcome.
Welcome to Monday Night Tweed Talks. Our sound guy is on it tonight, though. He's on his job.
How was the sound off, though? That's very interesting.
The microphone was muted. I was in the studio ahead of time trying to set up.
Oh, and you muted it.
It's when we watch any Marvel superhero movie in here with Layla, it gets kind of loud because we scream, and I didn't want Goldie to hear me screaming.
Oh, I see. So anyway, I was very busy this weekend.
What were you doing?
Well, you know what I was doing? I was filming with Charles, and I wanted to. Well, I just got home, so I wanted to upload some of the pictures so you could see. But I think we're going to do it next Monday. It was quite interesting because I had a fall.
I'm a little upset with him about this fall.
Well,
I'm upset with him.
it was a mistake. I thought there was a wall there. I went to hold on to the wall and I went flying. Lucky for me, I'm a gymnast, so I landed on my back. But I just
What? Okay, just keep going.
Well, I couldn't. What I'm saying is I couldn't land it flat on my face on top of a big concrete block. But I avoided that and I flipped and I landed on my back.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so the reason I'm saying that is because today I was actually going to make a video to show some of the people that were there that I'm okay, because they were concerned and they sent me some messages asking me if I was okay. So later on after this, actually, we're going to go and work out, you and I. Can everybody hear us?
Oh, yeah. Everybody can hear us.
Good.
So, you guys, we are extremely excited.
Extremely excited.
Always excited about our guest tonight. Goldie Greene is on with us tonight. We are rounding out the month of February, Black History Month, with Goldie on. Last week we had on Nate Moran, aka Nate the Mime. He was phenomenal, and just him sharing his story was so uplifting.
That was something else. Yes.
And actually, I happened upon Goldie on a project that I was on.
Okay.
A week and a half ago when I was working on a film.
I wasn't on that?
And no, you weren't. And a mutual friend of ours, Anne-Marie Maloney, she said, you know what? You have to have Goldie on your show because she's phenomenal, but she's so humble, and she just kept singing her praises. And Goldie allowed Anne-Marie to connect us both. So I'm so excited.
I was looking at her bio, and I know that you usually read the bio, but I was looking because you know me, I like to be informed, really informed. And she's worked with quite a few well-known names.
You could drop some names.
Yeah, we're gonna drop some names. We're gonna pick it up. And I tell you, and what some people don't know, you probably know because we've been married for what, 5 years, 15 years.
Almost.
But I was a judge for a Miss America pageant one time,
Yes. Hmm.
and we get to ask them questions, and we ask them questions. But at the end, we didn't know what the talent was.
Hmm.
And then, so we asked them these questions, and this girl came, and her talent was
Hmm.
opera.
Opera. Oh, nice.
And she blew everyone away. And me and the other judges just looked at each other and said, "Now, what would we know?"
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
because she was already ahead. I mean, she won that pageant, but it was very interesting. I don't talk about me being a judge too much because you know. But anyway, some people are coming in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little bit of her performance,
Yeah.
and then we when that performance finished, I cut it in half a little bit,
Okay.
so
Okay.
we won't have any problem with you know.
Yeah, with the powers that be.
Yeah,
So we're gonna play this clip, and after that, Goldie will be joining us live
she
on
will
Tweed
be
Talk.
with us. So get ready, enjoy this. Wow.
Wow, that gave me all the feels right there. Welcome to the show, Goldie.
Thank you. That was by Franz Schubert.
Hmm.
He,
Uh-huh.
he lived a little bit after Beethoven in the
Yes.
eight,
Mm-hmm.
1800s. And yeah, so thank you for playing that. It's a while ago. Um, I'm so happy to be on this beautiful show with Crystal, Hazel, and I just have to, before I do anything, I have to give acknowledgement because this is really huge. Parrots for Peace.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yes, and that is chaired by uh, Gloria Waslin.
Oh, we see
We see
Gloria
Gloria in
backstage.
backstage.
Gloria! Gloria, Gloria! And it's Parrots for Peace, and that is a beautiful link between nature and people, and it's beautiful. And then the Ulster County Women's Network,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
NW, NWN, which is really beautiful, and Seed to Song Farm, also in Kingston area, and my band Goldie, Greene, and Gigi and the Shades, and then
Mm-hmm.
also the Hudson Valley Mocha, which is an art center in Peekskill, Nubian Directions in Poughkeepsie, and also the Abyssinian Meeting House in Portland, Maine. That was beautiful to host um, the first of the shows that I was talking about. Like the premiere of the Viva the Divas.
Viva the Divas. That is wonderful. So, Goldie, those are all organizations that you're affiliated with, that you volunteer with?
Yes, and that I've worked for. Absolutely, yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, let's find out more about Goldie.
Hmm.
First of all, the name Goldie.
I don't know how much you can see, Goldie, but Ellen Pavlov says hello.
Ellen, oh my God! Oh, we did a great show in Newburgh. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my goodness! And it was about a bunch of 8 women. We're total lunatics, and each of us thinks that we're somebody famous. I think that I'm my
I
character.
love it.
My character was Queen Isabella of ancient Spain, who launched Columbus, we read about that in our history books. Ellen Pavlov, she thought that she was Mrs. Mozart.
Oh,
She had this hair and this. Ellen, oh my God. Oh
she's
boy.
a character.
Oh my God.
So let me ask you, where did you get interested on doing opera?
Well, I started out at the age of 5 in classical piano.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm, a concert. Right now, my hand is a little, I have tendonitis in my hand, and
Oh
it's terrible.
boy.
I can't play piano right now, but I'll be back there. But I'm a pianist and singer. But I started out as a concert pianist, and then and at the age of 16,
Mm-hmm.
started getting into musical theater, which is a lot more fun than, for a teenager than,
Right.
solitary practicing and Mozart, and
Right.
great
Agreed.
sonatas
Agreed.
and Greek concertos. So I got into that, and then and then I hit this really loud voice, so people started asking me to be in their band, and next thing you know, I'm like, I didn't do piano for a long time. It was horrible, but I did a lot of off-Broadway performances, and
Mm-hmm.
then my husband and I had a daughter, and then we moved upstate, and I got more into the piano, and then somebody told me that I should, sing opera, and I'd sung opera in college at CW Post LIU on Long Island,
Uh-huh.
and somebody told me I should get more into that, a good friend, and then I had this beautiful teacher on the Upper West Side, Nancy
Mm-hmm.
Adams, since she's not here anymore, but she's the one who gave me my, ooh, she gave me that.
Ah.
Woo.
She's the one who gave me that, because I was always into rhythm and blues, and as a
Hmm.
singer, and pop, but once you have that, you know. So I studied with her for 5 or 6 years, and then I started getting jobs hanging around with, you know, people who were in opera. And then I ended up in this really beautiful program at the Juilliard School 4 years ago
Mm.
for adults. It's the evening division, and you have to audition to be in the program. And for there, I have this beautiful teacher. I'm Kurt Alakupi. Well, I hope you're listening, Kurt. And he really helped me to really finesse that legato sound that opera singers have.
Oh my goodness.
And I love, Leontine Price, of course, Marian Anderson,
Of course.
New York City's own Martina Arroyo, and the beautiful people who are right now, Angel Blue, who sings at the Met, and a beautiful singer from South Africa, Pretty Yende, she's only about 30 years old now. She's an opera star.
Oh
So
my
it's a
Mm-hmm.
goodness.
generation of, and the brothers, we'll say of our brothers, we have beautiful Robert McFerrin, who's Bobby McFerrin's father.
Oh,
Yeah, his father was an opera singer. So that's where he gets that from. And it goes
yeah.
from there. Yeah.
That's amazing because growing up, you never think you're going to meet opera singers, but I have to tell you, over the last 5 years, I've met several that are in this region, and I'm just so blown away at the talent in this area. And
Mm-hmm.
when I played your video that you said, I was like, whoa, it was so amazing.
Thank you. Well, the first thing that we do, we learn to sing without a mic.
Mhm.
So the voice gets deeper and deeper and deeper into the abdomen, and to the point where we're loud.
Hello.
Whoa, okay.
I'm going to start practicing. Um,
Well, in some yeah, in some opera singers, such as the wonderful Kathleen Battle, beautiful light lyric soprano. She has a very light voice, a very sweet light voice. But with her technical training, she can. If you go to the Met, and there's 4,000 people that'll pack into the Met, her voice will still carry over an orchestra, which is in front of
Wow.
all the way to the back,
Oh,
the top balcony of the Met, and she doesn't have a mic, and she has this light voice.
oh.
Hmm. The only time I have a loud voice is when I'm yelling at a kid to get off the equipment.
I know, because you're into gymnastics. That's so
Get
amazing.
off the beam.
Yes, well, that's good enough.
So do you, as an opera singer, do you have to do a lot of exercise, a lot of training? Oh.
Yes, it takes years, and it one can't be impatient because we all make the mistake of thinking we're ready for something and
Hmm.
we're not.
Mm.
So we have to be really patient with our voices and the placement of our voices and listen to other singers and just be with and respect other singers from other genres, you know,
Hmm.
funk singers and R&B gospel singers. Um, we have to be respectful of other
Yeah.
genres. But
Yeah.
for us, it's always low in the breath, and it's hard to trust that.
Hmm.
'Cause we think we're doing, ah! It's not,
Right.
and it's not
Wow.
at an opera. It's
Hmm.
stupid.
Hmm. I feel like I'm learning so much. And what you just said, I think is the perfect segue to talk about the opera that you wrote, because you talk about embracing all these other genres of music. Viva the Divas. So please tell us about the piece that you wrote, your
Yeah,
opera.
Viva the Divas Part One, and I'm not saying that I wrote the music because it's all like classical music. But what happened was these amazing opera singers that I found out about. Two of them were born in slavery.
Hmm.
Hmm.
We have this wonderful, beautiful singer. Let her put her in front of me. I mean, just worship in front of her. This is Elizabeth Taylor Greenfield. She was born in about 1819, about the same year of Harriet Tubman, and she died in 1876. And she was born in
Wow.
Natchez, Mississippi.
Natchez,
She was
Mississippi.
born enslaved, but her
Hmm.
so-called, owner um, brought her up to Philadelphia. The woman who supposedly owned her um, became an abolitionist, a Quaker, and Elizabeth Taylor Greenfield came up to um, Philadelphia where she was free, and she stayed with the woman that she was with, but she was paid. She ended up singing, getting singing lessons, and this is how my play opens with her coming out on stage and saying, "I've had the most amazing news today. I can't believe I'm going to have music lessons."
Hmm.
And
Wow.
she ended up in 1854 going to London, and because some people in New York, helped pay for her passage. And of course, when she got to England, she was a free woman because they
Hmm.
abolished slavery in England before that. And she ended up running into Harriet
Hmm.
Beecher Stowe,
Oh.
and um, she sang in front of Queen Victoria at Buckingham Palace.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, and came back to this country where she was still enslaved, but then ended up running her own opera company in Philadelphia. And this is a beautiful woman. Let me have this is one of the few portraits of her.
Hmm.
And then there was another woman that there were several opera singers, but I picked three of them. This is Marie Selika Jones,
Wow.
also born enslaved in 1849, and she died in 1937. And she was also born in Natchez, Mississippi, and
Hmm.
her family escaped into Ohio. And it sounds a lot like what we're talking about now in Ukraine, where people just have to, you know,
Hmm.
it's so universal, these themes of oppression and horrible, you know, disgraces against humanity when people
Yeah,
think.
Right,
reading
right.
about refugees and
Mm-hmm.
having to go somewhere else so they can, make a life for themselves. Yeah. Hmm.
Exactly. But
Yes.
Marie Selika Williams was able to get, really great training and moved to New York. And she died in 1937, and she lived to her ripe old age,
Hmm.
And then the most amazing of them is this amazing Matilda Ciceretta Jones, who was born in 1868 and died in 1933. They actually wanted to have her sing at the Met,
Hmm.
but the manager said, "Oh, you have a beautiful voice, but the public isn't ready for this yet."
Of
Hmm.
course. Hmm.
And so, she's. I mean, it was just seeing this talent, and just one other thing. This is a picture of, and from my show. This is me portraying Elizabeth Greenfield,
Wow. Okay.
my Civil War bonnet on, and a hoop skirt. You can't see that. So it's like just bringing these. I really feel as though one of my life's missions is to really let people know about these beautiful divas, and
Yeah.
that you can't hear them because it was before recording was prominent. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they were beautiful. So thank you for having me on your show.
Of
That
course.
it's an honor to have you on the show.
Thank
I'm
you.
learning so much.
Hmm.
I think after this, I'm going to start doing some scale with my voice.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
um,
I'll warm you up because
So where did who are some of the artists whose music you use in the show?
oh, that's a really great idea. So the show since it's a one act play. It runs about an hour, and it starts off with a rap.
I love that.
It starts
mhm,
with
Love
a rap
that.
that I wrote because you have to have people join in from today.
mhm.
It's just kind of like brings you, introduces you into the. I haven't recorded it yet, so I have, come on, people, and let you hear the
Okay.
about the three divas. And then from there, we go into Kumbaya because it's not a one woman show. The Fever,
Okay.
the Divas. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. This is really important. It's not like it's like, I mean, I portrayed the three singers, but we also have a storyteller, and that's me with the storyteller at one of the, period costumes. That's one of the period hats. So we have, um, you know, a storyteller who kind of narrates it,
Oh,
and
great,
that's
great.
played by Bernadette Humphrey Nicole, a beautiful actress from the Hudson Valley. And then we
Mm.
also have an African drummer.
Oh, that's amazing.
Okay, so we bring that into that, and then we have our maestro, Tom McCoy,
Mhm.
playing everything from Stravinsky to Miles Davis. He's a genius.
Wow.
So it's not like a one woman. I could just get up there and do that. Okay. Um, so so we have. Oh, so what was the question again? I'm sorry.
No, well, I was asking about the different artists you use, and you said it opens with a rap.
It starts with the rap, and then
Hmm.
we have African American spirituals such as Kumbaya.
Hmm.
We have
Mhm.
sing-alongs at certain points, like "I got shoes, you got shoes." Oh, we have, so the audience gets to participate. But really, getting down into the nitty gritty, we go into some George Frederick Handel.
Handle.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, so we have, he wrote the Messiah, and he wrote in the 1700s. So one of the numbers that we do is Cleopatra's aria from one of his arias, where she's talking about being enslaved by members of her family, which is like the human race being enslaved by other members of the human family. So it's like that, and she's very sad that she's been enslaved. But at one point, she's very angry, and she's
Mhm.
letting people know, "Oh, I'm going to get you back," you know. And then there's Mozart, of course,
Hmm.
because Mozart wrote such beautiful piano music that I played as a child, beautiful sonatas, and but then he also wrote the most beautiful arias that for voice, because he liked girl singers. He was married to one, and Lots of he was out there. Okay.
So we have a question for you.
No, he was in a prude. Okay. So he was out there. And then we also have music by Rossini. I do an aria about because you have to have something that's a little comical. So one of the arias I do is about a young piano student who wants to seduce her piano teacher. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really funny. And then we also have some music by Duke Ellington.
Mm-hmm.
And we have music by U.B. Blake. This beautiful song "Weary," where one of the singers talks about how weary she is, about just weary, weary about the trials and tribulations, disappointments and humiliations. Just really gets into the whole thing about what it's like to being a Black woman. Really zeroing in on that. And also, so it's like different genres, but
Yeah.
it's all encircled around the lives of these women who lived during hard times. And then also the other thing I try to do is in this work that we can see is that we also have to look at the women's movement
Mm-hmm.
in that 1848 up in Seneca Falls when the women came together and said, no, we're going to vote. We're going to do this. We're going to have all women be free. So that is the women's movement is very much tied into that. So
That is wonderful.
Yeah, my wife just did a powerful play about women's voting, and
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what the name of it was, but
Pathway to the Ballot Box.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
oh, great.
yeah. So
You
we
wanna
have a
read-
question for
yeah.
Daryl.
Question.
Go ahead.
No,
honey.
no, no. I was gonna say you want to read the question.
The question is, other than the historic woman that you mentioned, who are your personal influence in music and theater?
Oh my goodness. Well, there's so many. I would just say, well, in musical theater, right now, of course, we love Audra McDonald,
Mm-hmm.
who's,
Mhm.
Absolutely.
who studied at Juilliard, and she branched out into other. She's amazing. And my dear friend Russell Cusick, a beautiful, amazing tenor, baritone, who knew her at Juilliard. He can attest
Mhm.
to her what a beautiful person she is, and what she had to go through to get where she is. Okay, I won't go through that now, but it wasn't easy. And then people like Madeline Kahn, who died untimely, and she was very much involved with Mel Brooks. Um,
Mhm.
with she played a lead in Young Frankenstein,
Mhm.
and some other part she played, comic actress. And I
Yeah.
really identify with being a comic actress. Even though I'll do tragedy too, I can get that I have to. All right, okay.
Mhm.
There you go.
But yeah, really, yeah. But I'm much more of a song and dance, comedy gal. I love, of course, Leontine Price, who is just, and she's 93. I don't want to put you up in age, darling. And I think she's back in Mississippi. The town that she came from was actually as close as you could get. Laurel, Mississippi was as close as you could get to a liberal town when she came up, and she had lots of opportunities because of that. And that's the whole thing you should look into. Um, and I don't know, just my colleagues that I really love, working with.
I didn't know that.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's hard for me to say all at once.
Yeah, wonderful. And he says Madeline Kahn was amazing.
Oh my gosh, she was so you just look at her, you just bust out laughing. But the woman
Yes.
did that face, she was like, ah,
Mhm. I didn't know she passed.
yes, she did.
Mhm.
Mm.
And I also love Alicia Keys.
Alicia Keys.
Phenomenal.
Yes.
Oh God,
Such
absolutely.
phenomenal talent.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness, her voice, the piano, right? And for me, one of the people that I really looked up to and inspired me to play piano and sing was, of course, the amazing Nina Simone.
Oh,
We're just talking
I
about
mean,
that.
oh,
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So, and Laura Nero. I don't know if you ever heard of her, but she was, also, composer and singer that I adulated. So
Wonderful.
So, what is your? I know you mentioned something before about Gloria.
Waslin?
Gloria Waslin, Sister Gloria. Oh my God. This woman is, I cannot tell you. She's as sweet as, she has a sweet soul, but she's also a very strong woman. And she's really into the animals, sustainability, and just highest level of humanity that one could actually ask for.
Whoa.
Beautiful
Wow. That's such a
smile, beautiful
wonderful.
girl. She's a pretty girl, beautiful girl, on top of everything else.
Let me.
That's a wonderful compliment.
She's here backstage, so I'm going to bring her in.
Uh-oh.
Gloria! Gloria!
I've got to say that Goldie is one of the best people on the planet, and I love her very much. Goldie is also newly elected to the board of directors of Parrots for Peace. They have a website, parrotsforpeace.org, and it's a family of blue and gold macaws that sang with Goldie and with Pete Seeger and lots of our Pete Seeger community.
Wow.
Goldie was on a recording with Pete and the Rivertown Kids and lots of other people. And so we go way back for many, many years because the Parrots, one of the babies of the Parrots was conceived on Pete Seeger's shoulders. One of them was on his arm. The other one was after he passed, but we named that baby after a song he wrote, that we can never give up hope. So the third baby is Hope. The second one, conceived on Pete's arm, is named Ara by Pete, which means hello in parrot, so children could speak an interspecies language. And the first one, conceived on his shoulders, is Peacenik, named after Pete. So Goldie and I are like soul sisters, 100%. And I'm a new president of something called the Ulster County Women's Network. And the first presenter that we had was Goldie for exactly her play on the Divas that broke through the color barrier to go to the heart space. And we've had many conversations about music as a pathway to the heart. It bypasses all kinds of social conditioning. So when you hear whales singing, when you hear wolves making their howls, when you listen to birds chirping and communicating, you listen to nature and how that works, and you listen to songs that are from a pure space, which has the power to really resonate and bring people into a love quality, that bypasses constructed language, constructed belief systems, and it is the language of Mother Earth and the cosmos and Creator. And Goldie has that. And I love Goldie so much because she brings a harmony. And the Parrots for Peace have a motto: may there be peace with Mother Earth among all people, animals, and nature. And Goldie's songs express exactly that. She's very intuitive and she resonates with the audience. And she communicates love and brings people together into a harmony that is unbeatable. So I want all of us to try to support Goldie as much as possible. She's got a gorgeous website that has some of the recordings of her songs, her arias. And I would love people to see goldiegreene.com, right? And we're going to go to places. I mean, I live in the Kingston area, so we have a bunch of stuff that we're going to be doing to expose young people to opera, because the idea that opera is beyond somebody's limit, they just can't do it. This humanizes everything. And gosh, these women that broke through are an inspiration for everybody. I mean, my next speaker for Ulster County Women's Network is a woman who portrays Harriet Sojourner Truth. And she embodies the spirit of Sojourner Truth for 20 years, and she's going to be talking about her experiences. And again, this is the power of song, because Sojourner Truth had a powerful voice, and she also sang, but she's noted for her oration, and she moved mountains. She opened, right? So the power, Pete Seeger had a saying that some songs are for entertainment, some songs move people, and then some songs really create a movement. And when he put music to a psalm, "We Shall Overcome," and Martin Luther King used that as a civil rights anthem, basically, to get people mobilized. It continues in small communities, in larger communities. It resonates around the world. It's like throwing a little pebble into a pond and it ripples out.
Oh.
But Goldie carries an inspiring message with the most beautiful voice, and that purity is like an angelic blessings. So I just love Goldie.
All right. Well, thank you for your input.
Oh, she's amazing.
All right. So we'll go back to
Goldie. Whoa. What an endorsement.
What did I do?
You create love.
I'm really trying to, and the thing that we really do in opera, and I carry that through in everything I do, because with my band Gigi and the Shades, we do all kinds of different music. We try to bring that legato, that soothingness, just a smoothness. Even though we can get funky too. Yeah, we're gonna get funky. Hey, yeah, we can do that too. But we want that soothingness there, the underlying undercurrent of everything's gonna be all right. Beautiful spirits.
I love that, Goldie, how you embrace all the different genres in your opera in Viva the Divas. And with Gloria just mentioned how, wanting to get more people to come, and opera is not just for a certain type of people, because I try to follow as many community pages as I can on Facebook. And I just saw this thing pop up for the Delaware Valley Opera this past summer, that they were having an operetta. And I'm like, what's an operetta? And people were saying, it's a really good way for people to get introduced to opera. Mm-hmm. And I that really resonated with me, because I'm like, okay, I've never been to one. Will I like it? I played violin growing up, classically trained. So I was like, okay, well, I'm sort of in that, around the bend, but I absolutely loved it. And I cannot wait.
I'm so happy.
I cannot wait to see Viva the Divas. I cannot wait.
Thank you. And we're going to, reach out there to everybody. And, in the meantime, if you ever get a chance to go to the Met and see their beautiful, amazing production of Porgy and Bess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was the most beautiful singing. And we saw it in early 19, like January of 19. And my husband and my daughter and I, because we go every year to the Met, and it was the most beautiful singing I've ever heard in my entire freaking life. And the chorus, this woman, Angel Blue. I started to mention her. She's also Google her. She's a modern day opera singer, Angel Blue. She played Bess, and the principals were absolutely amazing. That chorus. I will forever, the most beautiful singing I've ever heard in my life. So go to the Met and see Porgy and Bess. It's part of their, repertoire right now.
That's a classic.
So you have to make a mental note.
Yeah.
Maybe on a date night or a date weekend.
Yeah, I definitely will. Have you seen that?
I have not, but I
Oh,
keep hearing
that is
so
a
many good things
that is a
about the
classic. That is
story.
a
Yeah,
classic.
I know that. I know it's.
Mhm.
I
It's a
got it.
tragedy. It's a tragedy,
Mhm,
but it's
Mhm.
beautiful. And it was written by George Gershwin. The
mhm.
music
Mhm.
is very jazzy, but very extremely operatic. And oh my goodness, I still just thinking about it sends chills up and down my spine.
Yeah,
Mm.
that is a powerful play. Powerful.
Okay, so let's pose this other question, and then we're going to discuss the event that you were at yesterday, Goldie.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Oh
So we
yes.
have another question from Daryl, I think. He said, you mentioned, can you read that, Goldie?
Oh yes. Have you
You
ever
can,
done Song of the Night, Magic Flute? That seems so unbelievably difficult. Yeah, that is an absolutely amazing aria where the soprano hits very high F, and I can hit a high F, but I would be definitely more comfortable with Pamina that with the
Mm.
soprano, the Queen of the Night. Oh my God, she comes out there. She's so wicked. She's so
Mm.
bad. She comes out there. Oh yeah, absolutely. That calls for when you in opera you have different divisions. We call them facts. I know that sounds horribly dramatic, but that means like a draw a different category, and if that calls for someone who's what we would call a coloratura dramatic soprano. I'm a dramatic soprano. My voice is a little lower, so I wouldn't sing that aria.
Mm.
But
Mm.
yeah, I enjoy listening to it when I hear it.
Mm.
I'm enjoying listening to you. Like I said it before, I feel like I'm learning so much and I'm in awe.
Well, I was the same way. I was the same way. So I absolutely, and it's enthralling actually when you think
Mm.
of how hard people work to be able to sing this kind of music. Yeah.
And it's even more powerful when you see an opera singer live.
Yeah.
I know you could, but when it's live, it's a totally different feeling. I mean, it really goes through your spirit.
Yeah,
It's and it's nice when you hear it, but when you see it live, it's
yeah,
completely different.
yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It's mhm.
Now, I was looking through some of these people that you have here, like Billy Crystal.
Oh yes, I was just a kid. I was in high school and I was at Westbury High School. I'm from Long Island. And I saw a post on the bulletin board. They said they were looking for that Nassau Community College, which had newly formed a, a theater, that
Mhm.
a professional theater, they were looking for African American singers and actors. I said, oh, because I just got finished doing The Music Man. I had a really nice part. Hey, but I thought, oh, so a friend of mine and I went and tried out, and we actually were in uh, uh, a production of Finian's Rainbow, and then from there, Billy. He is the coolest guy ever. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he
I
is.
So
bet.
I'm real. He is just the way you see him, and I knew him over the period of 2 or 3 years. That's just how he is.
Mm.
Hmm.
There's no ego. There's no drama. There's no anything. And then they were doing a production of The Apple Tree, and he cast myself and my schoolmate William Electric Black, Jan James. He's known as William Electric Black. He's pretty famous now too.
Hmm.
He cast us. We were just like two kids, and he cast us in his play.
Wow.
And it was a small play, The Apple Tree. So yeah, I love you,
That's
Billy.
very
Oh, really,
cool.
guys?
Very cool.
Oh, really?
So you have literally traveled all over performing.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's amazing. Uh,
Curacao.
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 Oh yeah, I've been to the Caribbean. I've been to Canada, of course, the West Coast, and Europe, and of course, the thing that I will never forget is being able to perform in Africa in a
Mm.
show.
Uh-huh.
That was absolutely. I will never. I mean, to me, that was like, oh, it was so great. I didn't want to come home. It was so great. I met such great
Really?
people. Yeah, people from all over the world. I was in Southern Africa. And I met people from all over, not only Africans, people from Australia, Britain. It was like, it was amazing.
when is this play slated to be the play that you wrote?
Oh, Viva the Divas, part
Yeah.
one. There's also part two and part three. Well, the Viva the Divas, it was produced up in Portland, Maine,
Mm-hmm.
under the auspices of the Abyssinian Meeting House in Portland. Beautiful people, James Ford. Oh my God! And that had us up there to do the show, and also we've done the show in Poughkeepsie.
Mm-hmm.
Excerpts at Howland Cultural Center. We're looking to expand on it and to have more productions of it down in Peekskill, Hudson
Mm-hmm.
Valley Art Center. Mocha has expressed interest in it, and we just want to keep it going. We want more people to know about these amazing women, um, Black women, women in general. All
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
right, universal theme, but really focusing on Black women against all odds being born into slavery
Mm-hmm.
and having the opportunity to travel around the world and to have recognition for their beautiful voices and their artistry. And then having, on top of all that, having Marian Anderson being born in 1897 and
Mhm.
having her cross over in 1939 to that amazing audience that she performed in front of at the Lincoln Memorial, and then going on to perform as the first Black woman to perform at the Metropolitan Opera House in 1955.
Just amazing. Just amazing.
And we also have our brothers. We have our opera brothers as well. So it was a continuum.
Mhm. So let's chat about the event you went to yesterday.
Oh my goodness,
It
it was
was
so
at
nice.
the St. Lutheran Church.
No,
And
that was up in Kingston,
it was in
and
Kingston. Okay.
it was at this amazing farm, the Seed to Song Farm,
Right, right. Okay.
and that was looking at a beautiful hemp
Mhm.
uh, enterprise with let's see, I have to guess, Henry Gates. Yeah, I
Yes.
mentioned it. And and really looking at the future in the Hudson Valley of a whole new enterprise, and something that would really contribute to economic development in a
Mm-hmm.
positive, economically, ecologically sustainable way.
I love that. And I love how almost all of our guests have a tie with working volunteering with many organizations, whether it be with children or with the community, things like
Mm-hmm.
that. I love how our guests have that tie of doing volunteer work and just giving their time and all that. I just love that.
We
Mm-hmm.
have to give as much as we can to, especially for the kids.
Hmm.
It's all for the
Right.
kids. It's all for them, really.
Yes, for the future.
It's
Yes.
really, really. What we have, what I have at this time in my life is icing on the cake. And my husband and I have a beautiful daughter who's coming of age, and you know, I look at her and her friends, and I just love every young lady I see. I love because it reminds me of my daughter. And
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
it's just in young men too. If I had, if I had a son, same thing. I just love them
Young
all.
men, yes.
I love them.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So before we let you go, tell us about your production company. Sorry.
Oh, well, yeah, I have a production company. Well, I called it Melody Music at this point, and
Okay.
it's pretty much looking at, shows, but also more importantly, education for people, mainly young people, but adults
Mm-hmm.
too. I think adults any age who want to learn piano and who want to learn how to sing, and just giving them a springboard for that. But, very rigorous curriculum, what we had to practice. We had to be persistent, and we had to be passionate about what we wanted to do with our music and our artistry. So yeah, I'm gonna keep that going.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, I was gonna say give us something inspirational for the kids, and you just did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
go ahead, Goldie.
Well, okay, it's about the 3 P's. First of all, a passion for wanting to sing. And I think if you want to sing, you should also learn an instrument. I think the best instrument to learn at first is piano. I mean,
I've
people,
been saying that for like 15 years.
well, some people want to do
Don't know that.
guitar is harder because it's more abstract because each chord you have to make it a different chord. But hey, if that's what your affinity is, I'm not going to tell somebody not to do that. But a singer's best friend is their piano.
Say the 3 P's, Goldie.
Oh, persistence.
Practice.
Performancing and practice.
Yeah.
And if somebody says who wants to play Happy Birthday, I teach them how to play Happy Birthday. You should be able to play Happy Birthday.
I do.
At a party, okay.
I said when you mentioned about learning the piano first, I have been saying that for so many years because when I went more into learning voice and trying to play the ukulele, I realized that with the violin, it's so limited. It's a beautiful instrument. I love it. But it's so limited because you're only on one clef. You don't learn chords. You're only learning single notes and things like that. But you learn musicality. Your ear becomes fine-tuned. But I said to myself, oh, I really wish I would have learned the piano first because it just encompasses all the scales and the clefs and things like that. And I really wish I would have learned piano.
And she tried it for about a week.
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
And she tried it for about a week and then said I'm going to do a concert.
These things take time. And, I can talk to you as an adult. If your child is starting out, it takes 3 years to play on the piano. It takes about 3 years to play Fur-Elise. Okay, so after that, you're on your way. But those first 3 years, you just have to have, and I hope I'm with this, because I have students that have been with me for years. You have to have a teacher that makes it kind of fun, but
still, yeah.
Right.
I love that look.
Yeah.
When you gave that look just now, I almost started practicing.
It's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work.
Listen, when I try to practice here, everybody tell me to shut up.
No.
Turn off the piano.
It's usually at a very strange time, like 11 o'clock at night when people are winding down, or like 9 o'clock in the morning when people are winding up. So,
No. You have to do music, whatever level you want to do it on. It doesn't matter. I tell my students, most of my students are, they just want to be forensic scientists and, pediatric, whatever, it's just for fun for them. Their enrichment, but they have to do well.
Right.
And they have to perform in front of other people.
Yep, I grew up doing that, so I know exactly what you mean.
You know what I mean?
So, Goldie, tell us what you have coming up. What performances?
Well, not till the fall with my band.
Oh no, the fall, but we will look for that though.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, not until the summer and the fall. We just don't feel comfortable playing in a club right now. So, we just don't. They say mask off, and some of the guys in my band are of age, and they just don't feel.
Okay, understood. Summer and fall performances. Okay. But
Yeah.
we can put all your links up so people can follow you and they'll be able to find out when you're playing at these open events and things like that.
Yes.
Um,
Thank you.
I am just so excited to
And I
see
love you. You're
Viva.
so beautiful. You're gorgeous. I can see where you were a model. So
Thank
gorgeous.
you.
Oh.
Yeah. Not that she didn't say anything about me, but
Oh, you are so cute.
Oh,
oh,
no.
thank you.
No, he's a cutie pie. You guys are great. And I hope to be able to meet you in person soon.
Yeah.
Likewise,
And
Goldie.
I'm jealous that my wife met you and I didn't.
I didn't meet her.
Oh, I thought you were. Oh, okay.
No,
And you work
Anne
for
Marie.
Marie.
Not
Right.
yet.
Yeah,
We'll
Anne
meet,
Marie.
but not quite yet. We're down in
Yeah.
Putnam, but we'll be up in Ulster again. And maybe we can get
Okay.
together with Gloria and, some other beautiful people up there.
And Ellen.
Ellen. Oh, my God. Ellen. She was so great as Mrs. Mozart. Oh, my goodness. She really was into her character.
Oh yeah, she's
She's
a
Great
character.
actor.
She's a character
She's
without a
definitely
character.
I got to talk with her. We got a lot of catching up to do. Ellen!
Oh, Goldie, it was such a pleasure to have you on. I hope to meet you very soon in person, as you said. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I'm
And thank you, Parents for Peace. And you and Ulster County Women's Network. Yay!
Yes.
Goldie, send me a message with all of the organizations that you volunteer with, please.
I will. Not right now, but I will.
When you have
Okay.
a chance, tomorrow or the next day.
Thank you, darling.
Okay.
Okay,
Have
bye,
a good
love.
night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye, Gloria.
Bye, Gloria.
Oh boy. Yeah, no, I wasn't kidding about that.
Look
I
at
felt like,
Daryl's comment. I'm sorry. Look at Daryl's comment. This was awesome. I was totally engaged.
yeah, he plays the piano too.
Oh, he does?
Yeah,
I am jealous. I knew I should have learned
he
piano.
plays the piano.
But you know what? You can't carry the piano on a bus. I couldn't bring it home, but the violin was much lighter to carry.
Hmm.
That's why I didn't play the cello or the bass either.
And I like to collect everything that I do, so we don't have enough room for another piano. But listen, that
Oh
was
my
very interesting
gosh.
and inspiring because it made me want to go and practice.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love when we have guests
Yes,
on
you
and
were
they
right.
inspire us to want to go and do something.
Sounds like every guest we get.
Yeah. I'm sounding a little bit repetitive every week.
Right.
Mhm.
We should record that and say, that was a great guest.
And just have it, just have
Oh,
it on
she was
audio.
delightful. In the next month we're gonna be bringing some. Actually, we're gonna go back to doing some film.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna have the whole cast, different cast of film. And
Thank you so much, Gloria. I'm taking down your contact information and I'll be in touch.
all right.
Let's see who's commenting. Who's commenting?
Who's commenting?
Has Pedro been a guest? I'll let you answer that.
Who's?
Anne Marie.
Oh yeah, I have been a guest, and we talked about my book.
Yeah. You were one of our.
No, we were later on when we still were doing just Facebook.
That was in the very beginning.
And then another time we did a spot where we were talking about couples and getting along and things like that. So I was the guest then too.
Oh, when we did Ask Us Anything, that was a funny show.
Ask Us Anything.
I'll never forget that show because that's when Daniel Miller said that funny thing about someone climbing the light post in Times Square.
Right.
And I couldn't stop laughing.
You couldn't stop laughing. And but you could go back and watch those shows. And if you don't,
on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, you could go on YouTube and
make sure you subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe. We need some more subscribers.
I want to just
down below
piggyback on what Anne Marie said when she asked were you a guest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Anne Marie, we're thinking along the same lines because the other day I was saying to myself, it's time to have you as a guest again. You know why? Because I see so many people that are attempting to do the planche push-up.
Really?
Yes, I do. And you are the originator of that
Okay.
Not of that skill, but of the planche push-up itself.
Yeah, I was the first one.
The
in the world to
first
do it.
one, yeah. So Anne-Marie, it's time to have Pedro as a guest again.
Guess when? What? What is that?
It's Alexa. Oh, it's Alexa. She's reminding me that I have to record an audition.
Yeah. So
I told her to, I'm not going to say her name because she's going to start talking again. I asked her to remind me to record an audition at 9:00, and it's 9:00.
9:00.
So it works.
And we also have to go to the gym and do a workout. But thank you, everyone. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you. We're going to say with that,
We bid you adieu
love, peace, and harmony.
and harmony.
And we'll see you next week.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night.